Small high salute. I just got back from the gym, man, and a whole different energy now. I appreciate you guys. Big shout out to the homies. Small high salute to you guys. So I went over to my other channel and was looking at some of the comment section, and there was a comment by I think Flip or Felipe or something like that, and he asked me that somebody had told him that I was the YouTube channel that basically got into it with his homie from Crenshaw Mafia to do Sad Foods a little bit back. Now, let me put this out there too. I don't promote gang banging or none of that shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm not here to promote banging or none of that. What's up with it? Mall high salute, Rada. So I don't even partake like that, bro. But I'm gonna answer this question since it was asked and it never got directed. So, this was like some years back, and um, I got to give credit to the homie Lil Bam Bam though, because I done ran into Lil Bam Bam even after me and that fool actually faded out. So shout out to him. You know what I'm saying? All I salute to that little rider. He put it down for the Don moves definitely. Um, but yeah, so on Big Sevlog to the dude Felipe or whatever your name is. Yeah, that's actually me. You know what I'm saying? And I got to give credit to that little fool. So one day me and the homies we're having a little function, and pretty much I take these little homies back to the crib, and they live off of like Sheridan in the Mississippi, and there actually was a video that was going around. Somebody videotaped that shit, you know what I'm saying? And that's where they got the question from. But I was taking these little fools home, and I was the last, their little ride back to the crib, my homie little Mo and them fools. And at this time, it's pretty hot out here, especially for like me and the homies. We're at a couple people's neck with fools in the street. So at the time, you got to understand, like, I was fully out there pressing shit. You know what I'm saying? At the time, it was just hot. So I was in a mind state where it was like, we out here tripping. And I had little homies tripping out here, just blatantly just getting it in. So I'm about to drop these little fools off. And the little homie, he can't buy a blunt stick. So he asked me to, you know what I'm saying, go buy this full blunt stick. So I was like, I was going to, well, we pulled up to that gas station on like Mississippi and Sheridan, and we're chilling in the cut. The homie, I'll go run and get a blunt stick, and we're in the cut, and I see homie and his girl. And I had said this story on a previous video. I seen homie and his girl, and he's, you know what I'm saying? You can tell he's like 25, 30, but he's flamed down. And automatically the eyes that's a direct thing at that time. So I told the little homies, press homie, see where he's from. Because that's the kind of time we were on, right? He goes in the gas station, he comes out, and he's walking by, and the homie that's sitting in the passenger seat, he rolls down the window like, hey homie, what's up? Cuz where you from? And not no fabrication. This fool walked back towards the car banging on us, homie. So that's how that even started. The homie asked where he was from, and this fool turned up. Not no fabrication. He turned up like a real rider, bro. He didn't care how many fools was in the car. That's why I give that fool a little respect. Cause he banged up. He was like, what's up? This is big dude. This is big Crenshaw Mafia. What's up, blood? So I'm expecting the little homies to get hot. And they sit there, bro. That's why I don't mess with fools. Cause I seen these fools, to be honest, that fool had one of my partners shook. Automatically as a little homie, he should have bounced out, and him being a little homie earned them stripes. But he sat there like, what the hell? So it pissed me off, bro. It pissed me off because I was expecting more from the little homie, bro. So I hopped out and I banged, and I automatically went to disrespecting homie. I automatically said some disrespectful ass words, and I said, I need my fade, homie. And he didn't hesitate or nothing. He just threw off his shit and squared up. So me and this fool's in the middle of the gas station, and he's a little stocky fool, but I'm kind of too big for this fool. And I started playing with him, bro, because he's a younger dude, but I liked his get down, so I was gonna give him the fair one. Because as soon as that happens, my little homies talk about packing his ass out. Now, you don't always just pack fools out, bro. That's just not how we do it. I liked his get down. He banged on our car, and I liked it, so I gave him respect to just get the fade up. Now, I'm a little bigger than him, but he still didn't give a fuck. So I started just piecing him, and I'm not really viciously just beating him up. I'm just piecing him up, friendly, boom, 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 touching him up a little bit. His shirt rips. I catch him, boom. I throw my hat off to the homie, and I start just little piecing up. It's some love taps, bro. But I'm getting the best of him, and the whole gas station literally just starts filming this shit. You know what I'm saying? So nobody packed that fool out or nothing. You know what I'm saying? And I gave that little fool his little fair stance up. He went and brought his way because, like, honestly, he thought he was gonna get jumped after a while, bro. Like he thought the homies, because the homies were like, the little fools were like tripping though. They were saying disrespectful shit. I said, hey, go ahead, homie, you're good. I made these little fools not jump this fool, bro. So I gave him a little pass. Just got the fade up, knocked him a little bit, socked him up a little bit. Wow, what's crazy about it is 3, 4 months go down the road, right? I'm in a plasma center, fool, on Colfax and Harlan. I'm donating plasma, and I'm on the bed, and I'm chilling. And off in the distance, where they come in after they do their vitals, I see that same little fool, little Bam Bam. He's going through the line, and he don't see me, and I'm just tucked away, like, boom. He goes, I tuck away because I'm like, I'm about to get up, and when I get off this bed, I'm gonna walk up on his bed to see what his temperature is. So he goes and he gets hooked up to his bed eventually, and I'm about to get off of the bed, and his bed's tucked in away, like behind this thing, and I walk up on him, and when he see me, he looked up, and he was stuck. He was stuck on the plasma bed because, like, you're stuck with a needle in your arm. And I walked over him. I said, "You remember me?" And he thought I was just gonna fire off on his ass. But I looked at him, and when he looked up, and I knew he was kind of nervous, like I was over him, like I could have just beat the shit out that fool. I looked at that fool and I was like, you know what, homie? I said, I'll give your little ass respect, bro. I said, hey, you faded for your shit, bro. Respect to you, bro. But tell your little homies, stop running. Stop running when it's time to fight. Don't run no more. Like, teach them fools how to be like you. Be solid, bro. Um, so he got happy, homie, and I just kind of, he's like, thank you, homie. You a rider too. Like, he was happy that I just didn't fire off on his ass. Um, so long story short, bro, a little bit after that, I'm at a party one night, and I told this story a couple times, bro. I'm at a party one night, and I'm kind of turned up, drunk, and I don't even know that these fools are actually from any other neighborhood, and I didn't know where these fools from, but I'm disrespecting on the phone. I'm on the phone disrespecting, right? And when I get to disrespecting, the whole music shuts off, bro, and they're like, "Oh hell no!" And they start banging their head like, "Oh, blow! I'm stuck. I ain't got a pistol on me or nothing." And this fool that turned off the music, he's hot. He's like, bro, you know where you at, blood? What you? So I hop up because I'm about to get packed out, bro. Sure enough, there's a fool that comes out of the basement, and it's that fool little Bam Bam, and he recognizes me, bro. And he's like, he tells his homie, like, nah, that fool gave me a pass. He didn't even jump me. So it returned its favor, right? The energy returned, bro. So yeah, that was that whole little story. I don't know what you heard, Felipe or Phil, whatever your name was. But yeah, I got down with homie. I'll give him his props, bro. That fool was a rider, homie. Like, he held his business. I can't say he was a mark. You know what I'm saying? I can't say he was anything but a solid little fool, you know? So to answer that question, like I said, bro, like, I'm away from the crazy aspect, but sometimes you come across some solid little fools, bro. You come across the ones that you have to give flowers to, right? And there's not a lot of them fools because I know so many track stars, bro. I done seen track stars where fools will run. They'll run, bro. They'll dip. They'll run. As soon as you bounce out on them, homie, they're dipping. They're running. And I call them track stars because that's just probably the worst thing you could do as somebody that actually is in the streets or whatever is just run, homie. It kind of just shows you just need to leave gangbanging alone. What's up with y'all, man? Mall High Salute. What's cracking with y'all? What up, big CEO? How y'all doing? Um, but yeah, that was that, homie. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gonna come across like I came across this last Saturday, and that's when you do this type of content, you always gonna come across somebody that actually recognizes you, homie. If you were, in the streets anyway, the person we went to CSU with, remember that game? Their home, one of the homegirls on that recognized me because I used to beef with her dude. And he passed away, but so when you watch my videos, to clear this up to anybody, don't go off of them days, bro. Don't go off of the past. Like when you're watching my videos, don't have bad intentions for what I do now, because I'm all about peace, bro. Like, but you gonna come across and you might recognize me from some situations, or your homies might have been into it with me back in the day or something, bro. But I don't partake in them activities no more. So I'm not even tripping off all that shit, bro. I'm just here to represent Colorado. I'm here to represent Colorado. But to this day, homie, even after all that, with the homie, because there's a couple handfuls of fools that I actually can give respect to. That you just have to give respect after a while. That gave some solid face sessions, bro. Like that didn't run and held their own business and held their own. But you don't get that a lot. You don't get that too much from people out here, bro, especially in these streets. A lot of fools, all they do is head for the pistol. And that's another reason why the game's watered down, is because everybody wants to keep the heat on them, and nobody wants to be in that aspect to have any type of thing that's on your report card. Because once you have something on your report card, especially with these little fools, bro, they feel like that is something that basically holds up above their head forever, and that's kind of what we grew up off of, just being warriors, though, bro. Like that came normal. That was a normal thing, fighting and fading out. That was normal back in the day. You didn't have to worry about if a fool was just going to come back and just pop you over fighting. But nowadays, there's not even an aspect of maybe you'll get just a fade. If you beat somebody up, most likely they gonna come back and try to shoot your ass up, unless they a solid fool and fools just told them, hey, you know what? Leave that shit alone, bro. So yeah, so yeah, that was a cool little dude, bro. Like I give him a lot of respect, bro. I do. Cause he banged on the car, homie. That was one thing that just always would stick with me, homie. The window come down and the homie asks him, "Where you from, cuz?" And he bangs on the car, bro. F's on the report card is the normal thing, bro. And people be running with that shit. People are down to run with the F's, my homie. He banged on the car something vicious, fool. That kind of made me have an energy, but it made me hot. The little homie just stood there like he was spooked. The little homie was spooked, homie. And it kind of was like, oh hell no, he ain't he how did he just bang on the whole car? Does he know that actually he was not in a position to bang on the car, but in his mind, homie, he was a G. He was a warrior. And when it comes to gang banging, homie, you can't have that type of fear. I mean, there's being smart though. You know what I'm saying? Like fools that get killed over pride. You know what I'm saying? What up? What up? What up? So when the homies talked about jumping, I'm looking at my homies. I'm looking at the homie like, bro, you just got banged on, fool. And you're supposed to be a YG. You got banged on, fool. You look stupid. And when they talked about jumping him, that's when I got heated at the homies. Like, hell no, we ain't jumping this fool, homie. He did it right. He didn't turn down. You fools turned down. So when I hopped out and I get to disrespecting his neighborhood and he's still there and he's just ready, I'm like, oh yeah, he deserves a fair one. He deserves the fair one, homie. There ain't gonna be no jumping. Hell no, I'm not gonna allow the little homies to jump because he did it right. He did what he was supposed to. And you gotta have respect for that shit. You gotta have respect for that shit. And I knew I could have, I knew, and this is the thing. What's crazy about that shit is, homie, this is how small Colorado is. Later down the road, my uncles is OGs from Crenshaw Mafia from the West Side, right? These are Bam Bam knows my uncles because my uncles are OGs. They're older. They've been doing this shit for a long time. That's actually their people. Now, what if my uncles would have got news that we packed out one of their little homies, right? It would have been it would have been more drama even with my uncles because they would have felt some type of way. So I just, you know what I'm saying? I'm just playing with this, toying with this fool. Boom, bing, 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 bing. I'm just toying with him, socking him up, catching him a couple times. I think he actually caught me one time because we went like 3 rounds. He caught me though. I think he caught me. He caught me in the eye. Boom, because I think my shit was kind of bulged up, and that's when I threw off my hat and we went for another round. And I'm just pinging him. Boom, boom, boom. I'm just pinging his ass. Boom, 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 boom. And his shirt ripped off, bro. Like his whole shirt ripped off. And after I knew he was winded and I could have really just done him because he was kind of winded, I said, go ahead, homie. You good. You good. And he got surprised because he really thought he was just about to get knocked out. He thought he was going to get packed because my homies were acting, the little scary ass homies, they were acting like they wanted to jump him. They kept saying disrespectful words. They kept hollering, like, get that whoopty whoop, that disrespectful word towards Bloods. I let him go and he walked off with his life and not getting beat up too bad. You know what I'm saying? Yo, Seb, do you have any fighting stories about the Westwoods? I don't know about Westwood Hoods, but I got some fight stories in the Westwoods. Um, so when I seen him at the Plasma Center, bro, all when I seen him and I tucked down because I was stuck on the plasma bed and I seen him come in the Plasma Center and I'm just watching him and he don't even know I'm right there. He don't even know I'm watching his ass. I said, "Oh, that's that fool." And he gets on his bed and I said, "I'm gonna approach this fool and actually probably dap him up for fighting, homie, and then run." I walked up on that fool's bed like, "What's up? You remember me?" And he said his eyes got all big, like, "Oh," because he couldn't swing. He couldn't even swing, bro. Like he was stuck. Imagine being stuck on a plasma bed, bro, and you're the fool you just fought comes above you and you're stuck. You can't even use that right arm. I could have just fired on his ass. Beak. But I just was like, he looked, I said, don't even trip, homie. I just wanted to come say, you a rider, bro. You good. You good in my book. But tell your homies, don't stop running. Tell your homies, stop running. Stop being track stars. Teach them how to be solid like you, homie. We will hold up the week. Last week was real hectic. Hell yeah, it was wild, bro. Um, I needed therapy after that Jaguar collapse. Ooh. Um, yeah, I fought in the Westwoods, Rada. I fought in the Westwoods. I didn't fight no Westwood hoods, but I mean I used to live on Tennyson in Kentucky. And Tennyson, Kentucky, homie, that was a cool little area for activities. You know what I'm saying? There was all kinds of little badass baby gangbangers over there, fool, from the projects all the way to back to Morrison Street. And them little fools, bro, they would be out there tripping, homie. That's one thing about the Westwoods. I kind of like that area. The Westwoods was kind of turned up, bro. I gotta give them the Westwood area. When I say it was active in the summer, I have to give it like a 8.5 to 9 being active, bro. Them little fools, they be driving down the block on Kentucky, homie, just looking at fools through the window, hitting fools up with gangs. Like you might be walking, that fools will hit you up like boom, 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 boom. Like, damn, did that fool just hit me up out the window? Hell nah, fool. And then I used to have a house. I don't know if you Mallow, I don't know if you remember that house, that green house on the corner right there on Kentucky and Tennyson. It's like sits right on the corner, right across the street from the trailer parks. That was my house, fool. That was actually where I lived on that corner block right there, right? Now, that corner has so much traffic because everybody had to pass through there. Well, you had all the little Westwood hoods, and I'm not saying Westwood Hood as a hood, the hoods over there, they would be around us. And when I say they're around us, homie, I'm talking about you had the 16 blocks over here, you had the Crenshaw Mafias over here, the Mexican fools, you had the Odies over here, you had some Dub CM fools over here, and they all didn't get along with any type of Crips. They hated Crips over there. So when we moved over there, of course, we had a target on our back right away because they just seen a couple individuals over there true down. We would have make it an instance to be over there. We would right there, bro. My house was the corner house, homie. Like, you remember, if you know anything about that, you pull up to that corner, bro, and that stop sign's right there. So your house is right in the middle of everything. Now, the way my homies carry their south is real aggressive. So when the fools will come to that corner right there, my homies will be on them, hitting them up like, "What's up? Where you from?" Boom, tripping off every car coming. So we put a target on our back. Hold it real quick. Go. Come on. Go, 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 go. And my dumbass, and I'm on parole at this time too, my homie. Yeah, that's the house that I lived in, bro. That was a slumlord house that I lived in right across the street from the trailer parks, fool. That corner is so hot with every gangbanger because you got to go through them streets right there, bro. Like, everybody sees you. If you're coming out that house, bro, there's all kinds of cars that's just gonna see you. And I started turning it into the hood house over there because I'm like, if we're over here, fool, if we're over here, we're gonna have to actually be deep over here. So I started bringing all my partners over there. We'd be deep, taking over the whole block with like big ass parties, and the homies would be tripping off of everything. So a lot of fools didn't like that shit. A lot of fools didn't like that shit. Wow. One day, and I told this story too. These are all stories I told if you go back in my history. I was with my mom's homie. We're about to go. My brother's about to get picked up. It's my baby bro and me. And my mom, she's getting picked up too. And when my mom, bro, like, these little fools was coming down the block, and there was three of these little fools. They were young, but they had a backpack. And I seen them fools just looking at me and my bro in the front yard on me. I'm like, these little fools, what are these fools on? So my baby bro, he's like, "What's up, cuz? What are you looking at?" And they just like looked up and walked off. 10 minutes later, they go to the trailer park right across the street, and they come back up the block, and they're just looking, bro. So I'm like, "Hey, bro, do you know somebody over here?" And he's like, "What?" He pulled out the pistol like, "Oh, hell no, this fool just cocked the heat on us." And I said, "Don't get knocked out with that strap, homie. Go get your big homie. You too little." He's like, "We'll be back." Sure enough, I thought that fools was fabricating. I thought that fools was playing around, because people that say "we'll be back," they usually are just telling lies, bro. 2 days later, the shit, I thought it was done. 2 days later, homie, my brother was over there. I'm about to get picked up, and I thought it was the homie driving up on the lawn, bro. He came up, and they came up and hit the gas and hit the brakes, banging out the car. And I thought the homies were playing, but they started disrespecting loud, like on some gang shit. And this big fool hops out, bro. He has a shirt off. You could tell he's straight out the penitentiary. And he's like, "Oh, you was tripping with my little nephew?" I said, "Hey, you got the right one, homie." So I got my shoes on. I said, "Hold up, I'll be right out there." It was just me and him. We go in the middle of the street. We start chunking him. Bing, bing. And he just got out the penitentiary. He's banging 16 blocks on me like, "This is Big Bix, homie from 60 blocks." So me and this fool start chunking him. Bing, 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 bing. He squabbles, homie. He's a squabbler. I hit him, boom, and drop him into the fence, homie, and I grab him and I suplex his ass. Boom. Somehow he literally does some UFC and catches me in my eye. Boom. I said, "Oh, hell nah." While there was a car right here. His little homie that was in the car cut. He comes up and he's about to soccer kick me, bro. My brother slept his ass. Boom, in the middle of the street. That fool went to sleep. I hop back up. Boom. The fool that I'm banging with, he realizes that my brother was in the mix of that shit, seen his little homie get slapped, and that fool runs back to the car. I thought he was grabbing the strap. Well, there was a gang of people that came outside, homie. Like, they came outside. He drives off. Boom. I thought them fools was going to actually start dumping at the crib. Long story short, bro, now we're at standstill because we just got into it. The messed up part, these fools live down the block on the top of the hill, bro. They live at a house. You can see their house. This is where these fools lived, right? So it's on the edge, bro. Like, every time we come out, I'm looking up the block to see if I see these dudes, and you could just actually see their door. So it was like standing on eggshells, but he had kids at his crib. That's what didn't make sense. The blood fool, OG blood fool, he had kids. So I knew he was like, "Oh, hell no, we just caused a gang of hecticness." And I'm like, fudge, I gotta live here, fool. I gotta live at this crib. So it was like walking on the eggshells over there, bro. Later down the road, homie, after some weeks and months, I had told you I seen this fool on Allenbean and Harlan. He's at like a auto zone. And I thought, as soon as I see him, I go into like tripping right away. And he was like, hey, bro, let me holler at you. And I'm kind of still on standstill because I don't know what the hell. I don't even know. He's like, hey, homie, you a solid little fool. I got the whole story. And my little nephew and that fools caused problems with you. They the ones that started that. I said, I try to tell you, fool. He's like, I just want to actually say, hey, I'll give you respect. You fools is holding it down. I know your cousins and shit. He know my cousin, bro. So we actually we actually shook hands, bro. But that was one incident over there. I got a handful of incidents in the Westwoods, bro. But yeah, that was right there in the Westwoods, homie. What's cracking with it, Bracken? How you doing, my homie? Eddie, nah, it's not that, bro. But when you in somebody else's neighborhood and you in somebody else's hood, bro, and you're just over there just like blatantly, they gonna trip. They were tripping, homie. Like I think that whole time I was over there, homie, like the whole summer, we had a lot of people that we got into it with because them little fools were like, these fools is in our hood. They're in our hood, bro. And no disrespect to the 16 blocks or none of that shit, but you know what I'm saying? You guys actually if the homie Bix, OG Bix ever comes across, bro, like shout out to you, homie. You know what I'm saying? Like that was a rider, bro. Like he came to the house tripping, homie, like, what up? This is a 16 block big Bix. What up, blood? I said, oh, you got the right one, cuz. What's cracking? That was a memory. My wife was so pissed. Oh, no, 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 no. I'm not gonna put it out there, but my wife was riding too, because he had a baby's mom. He had a baby's mom, and his mom was with him too. So my wife came out like Avenger, bro. She was a Power Ranger in that shit. She came out with something crazy, bro. I was like, damn, fool. Wifey's a rider. Old homie name, huh? That we're the only ones that were Crips because our family and everyone that went to school with Bloods want to kick it with all of us. Yeah, in the Westwoods, you over there in the Westwoods, my homie? I would have to say 2000 and fucking 2014, bro. Because I moved, I got paroled to the Westwoods of all places, my homie Ben. All places, bro. They paroled me to Sixth and Sheridan, fool. And if you know anything about all that area, like that area is just all, homie. I'm gonna tell you, bro. Like the Bloods is deep all throughout there. But at that time, you think I really cared? I really didn't give a fuck, like where I was. I was straight out the penitentiary. I just was feeling strong out the penitentiary. I really just didn't care at that time. A lot of domino effect having that mentality over there too. Because after a while, bro, we got into it with so many fools, and I'm on parole too. You don't understand this, my homies. I'm on parole at that time, so I'm doing crazy shit on parole and bringing heat to the house. Any day the parole officer can roll up to the crib. So, long story short, and I won't get into this story. There's about six different situations at that house alone, right? With different aspects where the landlord starts hearing this shit because people in the neighborhood start calling the landlord. Luckily, though, they didn't call the cops. They called the landlord and said, your people and your tenants, they're causing a lot of drama over here. There's all kinds of shit going on, right? That my landlord said, hey, you guys got to leave. We want no problems, but you guys got to leave. Like, you can't live over here no more. Yeah, it was like 2004. I think like 2014, right before the Broncos won the Super Bowl, bro. Yeah, it was like right before the Broncos won the Super Bowl. Respect to the Westwoods, though. Don't live there anymore. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Nah. Like I said, homie, that right there was a melting pot for a lot of hoods, because really it just was the low income area, right? So I give it to them fools, man. Like I always have respect for that side of town, bro, because it was just like you would, especially summer, bro. Summer was like super cracking. It was super cracking, you know. So be right before I moved to that. duplex house, that green duplex. I don't know if you know, it's like right by the Mikado, homie. There's like you know that street right behind the Mikado on Morrison. There's like that Menudo place. They have the Mexican spot, homie. It's right behind that Mikado store, and then it has them little shops where you can buy Menudo. And then if you go to this, it has that little store, like the mom and pop store. Well, I lived on that block, homie, going all the way down to Kentucky, like going past the projects. Homie, I lived in a duplex house. It was like a two house duplex. I lived in the back one, right? That's where I initially went over there before I went to that greenhouse. And when I was actually in that duplex, it was like a week. It was like a week into me going from the hotel, and then we got that spot right there. I came outside one day, and across the street, there's a fool that was walking, and I get to pressing homie, like, cause he was kind of looking, and I get to tripping, like, what's up, homie? Where you from? Well, he was an OG. He was an OG from, I think, LGB or something, bro. And I told that fool, we live over here now, homie. Like, I'm on parole. So he had kids and family. He was just like kind of on some P shit. But he warned me about the Westwoods, bro. He was like, hey, bro, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just warning you, there's all kinds of little bangers around here. Like, there's some fools that live over here. So I already kind of knew. I kind of knew that neighborhood was activated and it was turned up, you know? But shout out to the Westwoods, man. Shout out to them boys in the Westwoods. Like, they was turned up, homie. They was turned up. Like, I gotta give them their little credit. And now they're regentrifying the Westwood area. They're regentrifying it. My penguins is tripping. Damn, bro. What happened? Your penguins? I text you, homie. Because I'm around the apartments again. Okay, okay. The school cabinet was crazy. Everyone would run phase behind one of the alleys. How? Yeah, because they had all them alleys across the street from Kebner. Yeah, yeah. They was that was the school zone, bro. But so because like I went from Federal, and I would walk that whole block all the way back sometimes to go to that gas station right there in that 7-Eleven. And we will walk, homie. And Kentucky is just it's two way. So we would walk, homie, and you would always have fools like hit the block and they would just hit you up with gang signs out the windows of the cars, like boom, 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 boom. I said, damn, these fools just hit us up. They hit us up all the way down the block. And you would always just have to be on your toes because fools would just be like creeping, homie. And especially if they see like different colors in the hood, they're creeping like, who are these? But I mean, I got shot on Hazel and Alameda, fool. I got shot. So I already knew that area was always activated with some gang shit. So I was always, you know what I'm saying? At that time, I would have to have something on me, like, oh yeah, I'm walking over here, bro. Like, that shit was wild. Let me find out you was in the neighborhood bullying. Oh, after a while, bro, you kind of had to do that, Corey. You kind of had to be on that shit because it was just like a lot of fools was gonna try to prove points. Plus, the bad part about it is, homie, my little partners that were over there that were living with us and being over there, they were just like troublemakers, homie. So if you could put that in perspective, my little partners at the time, they was always troublemaking with fools, always running up on fools, always getting people in predicaments. You come down that block, that corner, and my little homies was out there, and usually they were because I was like, we have to be over here deep. They was tripping with everything, homie. So I felt sometimes I had a conscience. Sometimes I'm like, fudge, homie, you fools is doing too much. And that's when I eliminated people coming to my house. Cause them fools will always be doing some shit, bro. My son's cousin are from over there and they was bloods. Yeah, now there's a lot of little blood fools that represent the Westwoods. They moved over there, homie. But my homies would always be causing some drama right there, fool. And at the time, you have that mindset. Hey, this is what it is. I mean, we signed up for it, so I can't complain. But that's why I say don't be bringing shit to the doorstep, fool. Don't be bringing crazy stuff to your doorstep, fool. So that hood was just, again, and that's how back then. I mean, that area had a lot of people moving over there, Corey. Like that was like the last of the low income housing that was in Colorado to this day. It still has low income housing, a lot of slumlords right there. So you get a lot of traffic from everywhere. So like even recently they had some crib fools, some trays from the east side of Denver move over there. Oldies over there. You have Bloods, the G's. They got into it right there. The Westwood, that's Westwood Hood area. That's like the hoods. That's their hood. But it's a melting pot. People just move over there, bro. So that's why it was kind of, I mean, on that side and the west side, I would have to say that's one of the most turned up parts of Southwest. And I know people say South, but that right there is like where all the bangers are. All the bangers are. And every gang over there seems to not like the lokes. So when you're like out there and you're just kind of out there uniformed up and your homies is blue ragging and everybody's gang banging on some cripping, you gonna have a lot of you gonna have a lot of aspect of fools tripping on that shit, right? Because them fools are like that's how they feel. We were in their hood. We was in the enemigos hood, they say. Them fools is over here comfortable. Oh hell nah. So you know how it goes. What up with the chaos? What's good with you, brother? My high salute. Yeah. Yeah, one thing about the Bloods from the West was you call one of them out, you call it, yeah. Well, yeah, because they're the prevalent hood over there, bro. That's why, right? That's the prevalent hood. So of course, they and at the time I was living over there, bro, they had like 10 different blood houses all around. Like this house up the block will be where the Bloods be. Over there by the project will be where the Bloods be. These fools will be in the trailer park. These fools will be by the school. These fools will be up the block. So like there was like 10 different houses of West Side Bloods. So when we moved over there and we're the whole opposite, and they don't see really cripping. When they seen cripping in the Westwoods and they seen fools full fledged for the Crips, bro, them fools did not like that shit. It turned the whole neighborhood into, oh, these fools is over here. And lucky for us, we know how to survive and we're battle prone and we got the best of a lot of people over there because anybody else might have been shark food, honestly. Luckily, we bring just a little more aggression because we know we're on defense now. We're not in our hood. So we're just literally always tripping. Like when I say defense, we're tripping. Every car that comes down the block, the homies are gang banging on. Every car that comes down that corner, the homies are on. And I'll talk about walking up on cars if they look gang related. You know what I'm saying? That's the only way we survived that shit, bro. Because I think it was a lot of pressure for a lot of people. Just about to have some lunch. How yeah, man. Have a good lunch, my bro. Have a good lunch. But we got respect too, because like I said, the OGs fools over there seen that we were chunking them, and it was not just a pack out every time we seen them fools. They honestly started showing love. My uncles would get good report cards from his homies, like your little nephew is tripping. Them fools is over here tripping because half of the fools that know my uncles are like we had situations with them fools, and there was never ever none. We turned down anything. But there was a lot. There was, I gotta say, there was people that ran, bro, that were track stars that turned down a lot. I seen fools actually just run and track star it fast, bro. I couldn't even catch these fools. Run, hopping out, and these fools is running like, damn, that fool just left his baby's mom by herself, bro, with the kid, and he just got to running. I said, damn, fool, you fools would have been good in high school. Y'all would have been hella athletes. uh Shit, the G's was over there. That's why they got to beefing with the West Side Bloods, though, for real, though. Yeah, nah, yeah, that's like me, bro. I don't partake in that shit no more, though. To be honest, I got into it so much at that house, homie, Mallow. I got into it so much at that crib, and it was like for a whole 3 4 months, every other day was something, bro. Right? To a point, I'm gonna be real with you, bro. Like my wife and me just made a decision. We cannot have where we live be the war house. So we moved. We moved up on Alameda and Sheridan. It was a little more. lay back, you know what I'm saying? But still, there was still gang presence over there, if you know what I mean. We moved to some duplex, and it was more peaceful, definitely at that by that gas station across the street. We lived in them little apartments and duplexes, but it was still there was still stuff that was going on over there for sure. The way I look at it, as long as you were cool with me, I was cool with you. I didn't care what you claimed. Yeah, I was totally different, my homie. If you were from certain neighborhoods or areas, I hated your ass. So I did not want peace with any of you fools. So that's kind of just like how I grew up, though, but it's better that way because you don't bring a lot of domino effect and negativity. You don't bring it on you. But I definitely, man, like I really, if you were from certain areas, nah, no bueno, we can't be cool. I don't want to hear what you got to say. If you represent and you're just from that area, I'm tripping. That's why I was in a lot of different shit in my life. You know what I'm saying? Bad juju, karma. I got a lot of bad karma for being like that. And I'm trying to be cool now and peaceful, and it's hard for me to break out of different things. I'm like, man, I should have just been cool from the get go. I should have been on that shit. I should have been on, bro. Like, if you about respect, I'm gonna be about respect. But I didn't care about no respect in anybody but ours. If you ain't from the hood, you're no good. If you wasn't from the hood, you was no good. And don't let you say certain shit either. Don't let you say certain hoods because you ain't getting no pass. Like I think if Bam Bam was from certain hoods, he wasn't getting no pass. He was gonna get packed out. He was gonna get all the treatment. But he wasn't from a rival neighborhood that we automatically just got into it, you know. It don't pay to be like that though. That's my point. It don't pay to be like that because you put a lot of bad things on your own head when you're like that. That's all I gotta say, man. It's just wild, homie. But yeah, that's kind of a see, and we didn't even I didn't run into a lot of Southside or Sureños, bro. Not at all growing up. Hell no, I didn't. I seen that fools in Montbello all the time, Montbello and all that shit. But I didn't grow up seeing them dudes, bro. I didn't see Sureños when I was growing up. Now, when I went to Montbello, that was a different story because I ran into a lot more Sureños out there in Montbello and Aurora. And the only time I ever got into it with Sureños was in Montbello. The only time, homie. There was a time in Montbello when my auntie lived over there for a whole summer, to be honest. Every It was more of my cousins getting into it, but it turned into like having a lot of situations with the Sureños in Montbello. Because my cousin and my auntie and uncle moved straight to the block where the Sureños was in Montbello. And that was the first time I seen some fools shaved head and struck down and all this shit looking like the Cali fools. I said, damn, where are we? Where are we, homie? And their demeanor would just threw me off because I'm like, we don't see this shit in Denver, really. Where the hell is these fools come from? Hell nah. They were deep over there, homie. That's where I met Interstate Ike, like Rav and Maja. Okay, okay. Yeah, 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 yeah. Interstate Ike, man, that's a good dude right there, bro. So when I say this, like when I go went to the penitentiary and seen all them fools, I didn't really have a bad taste for Sureños like a lot of Denver fools did because we didn't run into them too much, right? I didn't really run into Sureños at all growing up. And the ones that I did run into, they were kind of more laid back, at school or whatever. There might be a Sureño, he's a Sureño, but they were laid back, like hella laid back. There was never no funk with them fools. But when you went to the penitentiary, you went to prison, you're like, these fools really be turning up for everything. These fools they really out here acting up. But yeah, nah, that was kind of that, man. That was a little aspect of, yeah. To answer the homie's question, yeah, that little fool gave it up though. I gotta definitely give that fool his love, homie. Like, little Bam Bam, he was a writer, and I hope he's doing good. I I haven't heard homie die or anything. You know what I'm saying? I hope he's doing good. He was a solid fool. Yeah, Greeley got a gang of Southsiders, my homie. They got a gang of Southsiders out there. I used to live right across the street from Falcon Park. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. So my auntie, where I'm talking, you know where that little elementary school is. They had like the rims that were like lower where everybody used to dunk. They used to be bamming on them rims. My auntie lived on what, Elk Street? I think it's Elk Street, homie. She lived right there. Shout out, shout out, shout out. Hit that like, man. Hit that subscribe. Nah, but she used to live right there, bro. And the Sureños will be over there at that school. That was the first time I ever seen Sureños, bro. First time I ever seen Sureños. What's up with it? What's up with it? Yeah, that's good, bro. Like, nah, man, it's good to live free and have peace in life, homie. If you made it this far, homie, like, it's good to be peaceful. I'm peaceful. I'm hella peaceful, bro. I like to relax and enjoy CSU games now. I like to go to CSU games in Fort Collins and be peaceful, homie. What's the point of being crazy and wild, homie, when you could just live and just be and enjoy life? I don't know, bro. I'm de-energized out of life too, though. To be honest, life done de-energized me. But so that little school right there, George, the little elementary school right there. When my auntie had moved over there down the street, there was a house, and you could tell these fools straight were from California. And you could tell them fools were like some Cali fools, and come to find out they were from Long Beach, homie. The Longos. You know what I'm saying? They were Longo fools. That's that East Side Longo, California, Long Beach. But they were out there, homie, and like it was just a different kind of atmosphere with them dudes. Yeah. Southsider, and then there's a bunch of Northsiders. So now I don't know about Crips and Bloods, but my son was locked up with some Northsiders from. Yeah, well, they always had the Norteños and the Sureños out there. They always had the North and Sureños out there. But there was bits and parts of all solid foods from everywhere, homie. Like that's the thing. When you grow up and you kind of see what a Big Eric was cracking with you, Brody. When you start seeing and you start going places, you see there's solid foods from every aspect of politics, and like every city gonna have some solid individuals. Every place you go, every neighborhood, every tagging crew is gonna have a solid individual that's gonna push a line in a good manner, homie. What up with it? What up with it, Big Rob? What up, Big Matthew? How you doing, fam? So I've learned, like, over the years, even in the penitentiary, I've learned, homie, like, you can't singleize a whole unit and just hate on the whole unit, because you might actually have more in common with some fools that, you know what I'm saying, that you just hate. Just going out there with hatred, homie, and tripping, like, that's crazy, because there's probably more from fools that are suckers than the fools that you think you hate. What's up with it, big BCFFL? Do a backflip, man. I can't do no damn backflip right in this little ass room. Man, I wish I could, bro. I wish I could do a backflip. You pushing the line for the Broncos game? Huh? You know me, man. Stop playing, Big Matt. Stop playing, my Rada. Stop playing with me, my homie. I used to work at CU during the games. Second half, man, all you smell is nothing but weed. Oh yeah, because it's Colorado, my homie. What? It want to be Colorado without that Buddha loving bomb. BCFFL, you know what it is. Broncos country family for life. Let's go, man. And bro, my camera turned on Broncos all day, box day business over everything. Bang, bang, hey, and ended up friends with their with their worst stinkers. Wow, that's crazy too though, because like it's interesting, homie, when you hit them compounds. I mean, a lot of the West Side, homie, and there's some foods from like the LPPs that were Inca boys and shit. They stay on the yard, and some of them fools was talking to some of the G's, homie. And it was more like a West Side thing. It was just like sometimes the East Side Odies and the Chickies, homie, they would be on the yard. They would be on the yard and they wouldn't have no issues, homie. They would sometimes they had an East Side car, bro, and and some of the Swampton Chickies and the Odies. Sometimes them fools they would actually just they would have respect for each other and coexist in prison, you know? Um, that's respect, Jay, my Jay. And I'm living a positive thing. Hell yeah, man, that's good. Man, the homie from Chickies, bro, solid fool. You know what I'm saying? Deshaun and Julio from Chicky 30s and Mario from Odie's. They actually was chilling. They was chilling at the same tables, eating, breaking bread, my homies. And you know what? And all joking aside, them fools had a lot more power amongst each other, homie. They kept it down straight for the East Side car. They actually kept it down. I mean, they was holding it down. So, that was that. And they was riders, homie. They actually held it down for the East Side. They had it down for the East Side. They had their own table, you know. I just actually just been working out a lot, homie, staying above water, staying away from negativity, and just back to doing some regular content and just chilling, my homie. Basically, that's all. That's all really I've been up to, my homie. Relaxing. Uh, what part of? Let me see. Um, what part of? Let's see. What part of the Sigil and the G and the Crips got into it? I mean, that was just off of some. See, and that's what I'm saying, bro. You can't believe everything you hear in life. I mean, that's the problem. A lot of different things will get distorted. And when that shit kicked off, it was behind some suckers, bro. It was behind a sucker that kicked off a whole war. And to come find out, homie, the sucker was just all bad. But we followed protocol because he was a low homie. But we were about to have a whole war with some of my G homies over this sucker, bro. That turned no good. And luckily we found this out because my G homies, they was actually riders, bro. They put in more work than the fool that we were about to go to war for. You know what I'm saying? Like, and to this day, homie, some of them is my solid homies. Like, I respect them fools more than some of the fools that I know from the Lokes, bro. You know, I met a lot of Sureños from Cali. They all would tell they little homies and females too that they is that little homies would jam them up. Yeah, you know how it goes, bro. Like a lot of different things to it, and that this is what I was figuring out and finding out. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of shit that fools was pressing out here. Some of the homies from the land, even with that shit, bro, was totally different. So they were fighting for a cause they really didn't really know about. And it would be like, damn, homie, your homies over here that you looking up to, they ain't really on that time right now, you know? Um, Yosef, do you know if Sudanos be or now? I don't, my homie. I've been out of the streets for a minute, my fam. Like I don't really go anywhere. The only thing I know is that what I hear from like other partners and fools that are still connected. And I heard that the BPSs be in the Westwoods. You know them Playboy fools. I heard Florencia is on Sheridan and Colfax. I mean Sheridan and Evans. And I heard they got a branch out there now. Yeah, I caught a lot of them too. Some in State Fair. They didn't even want to mention they hoods. I introduced myself always in my hood, but hey, they mentality eats you up. G used to be deep in the rap game. RIP Money West. That's my rider right there, bro. And see, those is my solid homies, bro, from the G. AG and all them fools, bro. Ricky Knotts, bro. Those was my riders, bro. Like I have said this many times, homie. We used to be linked with them fools for so long, homie. Those was like our everyday homies when we were over there by the west side, homie. They had that duplex over there on Perry Street, Colfax and Perry, homie. They had that duplex, and we used to be linked, bro. Where I'm talking about, we be in the parties deep, G's and Lokes, bro, and we would be over there acting up at the house parties, bro. I actually, I'm not gonna get into it, but I actually got off on fools over then fools tripping with knots and them fools, bro. Yeah, I got it. You know what I'm saying? If you ask Ricky Knots about Sevlok, bro, and different things that happen, bro, they'll run it down. Our circle was just tremendously with them fools, and we used to run together. And then that shit happened. You probably know him. His name starts with a C, bro, from OGCs. You know what I'm saying? It almost turned into a war over that dude, bro, and he came back no good. Hey, them Florencias are sprinkled everywhere. Yeah, I mean that's one of the biggest clicks. That's one of the biggest clicks out there, bro, of Sureños, the Florencias, bro. But yeah, no, that's just wild, fool. Yeah, nah. Shout out to your family though, bro. Like them fools is the homies, man. Like they were a solid bunch, fool. Solid bunch, you know. Um, I remember a couple of nights, bro, having big ass parties, and the cops rode up to the parties, fool. And we would literally put the couch in front of the doors and have a standoff with all your homies, all your relatives, bro. And we literally would have a standoff with the popos, bro. And your homies was they was solid, homie. Them fools were like, we gonna drink these bottles before these cops go in. Yeah, sure. Yeah, rest in peace to the homie, man. Rest in peace to the fam. It's all about family to me. I got to make money. Hell yeah. Now that's what you need to be on. It's all about faith, family, good times now, homie, you know? Yeah, because I ran into so they had it. I ran into them fools because when I was going to Jefferson High School, when I moved from East Denver, from Denver Street School, I went to Jefferson High School, and I really didn't go to school per se. I was over there and it was new, like it was a new school. There was all kinds of fools banging different areas over there. And the fool Surge Loke, my homie, Big Surge, homie from OGCs, he's like, oh, what's up? Because he a Loke too. He said, come over here. Like, we got a house by 16th and Perry. I went over there and I got introduced to all them fools. So they had conflicts with some fools in that area, and automatically we took on their beefs because those was the homies. So we started like partying together. And this is when West One was actually still alive, homie. You know what I'm saying? It was when Westwood One was still alive, Cuff and all them fools, bro. And we actually started kicking with each other tough. Like those was the riders, homie. And ever since them 2 years, all them 2 years just being around, like, bro, that shit was some of the most fun, active times too, homie. It was a good time with all them dudes, man. And then I went to the penitentiary, bro. I went to the penitentiary and I lost contact with all them fools, and I just started running into some of them. Some of them, I know Knott's got that little barbershop over there, like Littleton. But shout out to all them fools. But Mall High salute Riders. I just wanted to come say what's up. Oh yeah. Um, so the food, and this is crazy too. This is how I know that foods was solid, bro. This is how I know this foods was solid, right? Um, and that foods was just riders, homie. Is I don't know if you know the fool Javier, right? I don't know if you know the fool Javier. He caught, I think they call him Lil Javier, bro. He a rider for the G. He got a gang of time. He got a gang of time, homie. And me and this fool, we got the heads up downtown on the 16th Street Mall. Me and this fool started fighting on the 16th Street Mall. Bing, bing, bing. We was squabbling, homie. We got the heads up. And them fools actually got the story, and them fools was like, nah, bro, like we ain't tripping on that shit, bro. That's the homie from the G, but we know you. So if it's another heads up, it's a fair one. Ain't nobody tripping on that. I said, okay. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to them Riders, bro. Like, yeah. What is Javier's name? I think his name was not Nightmare. It was not Nightmare, homie. It was like not Guckus, homie. It was none of them. It's little Javier, bro. I don't know his neighborhood name, but he was a rider too, though, bro. Lil Javier, he actually got it in, though. He got it in too. I gotta give him his props. Me and this fool was squabbling on the 16th Street Mall. He caught me in my mouth. Boom! Tore a whole chunk out the mouth. I still got the scar. Right here, this whole chunk was out on he caught me with something nice with that right. Boom! My mouth was gushing, fool. Me and this fool was squabbling. I was still fighting this fool. My mouth split open though. 16th Street Mall, homie. And then I heard that he at first I heard he died, but one of his partners was saying that fool caught a lot of time. He caught a lot of time. And I remember the homie AG. Shout out to the homie AG. He was like, "Yeah, bro, that's the little partner, but I know how he be acting. That fool always be he be always causing problems." I said, "Yeah, that fool started tripping that day." Little Javier's ass. What up? What up? What up? What up, Park Hill? Shout out to the hillside too, man. I know some solid foods from the hillside. Shout out to the riders, man. Yeah, we just chopping it up, man. We reminiscing on a couple different things, homie. You know what I'm saying? Like, but yeah, bro, you always come across the solid ones, you know. Um, and I wanted to do that story because the homie had asked me, his little partner, he had asked me, you know what I'm saying? And everybody knows when they hit Sev Lokes Hotels, you know, on the east side of Denver, you gonna know what it's all about. But there's always fools that you come across and you could give them their dues. Like, yeah, that fool was a rider, bro. You know. Now, if I was an idiot in that situation with Lil Bam Bam, bro, we would end up just packing homie out because he was slipping. Really, we would have did homie dirty, and then I just gave homie the heads up and just kind of socked him up a little bit. Well, later down the road, it came back in spurts. Like the energy came back, homie. And when he actually had me slipping over there, he just was like, his homies had me slipping. He's like, yeah, bro, that fool gave me a pass. So it was kind of one of them things. You know what I'm saying? Like, I bought some shit from the West one day. That shit was fire. Hell yeah, they had some cool little spots over there. Billy Hanks is my OG. Okay. Yeah, I know. Like, so my uncle's OG D Mac, Johnny and Jeff and all them fools, bro. That's my relatives. I mean, the Cisneros family. They're all relatives, bro. Big D Mac, Renee Cisneros, bro. Those are all the riders, bro. Like those are family and all that shit. But I knew a gang of your homies, bro, just because you know, I always respected that Denver native shit, bro. Like Denver original native shit, you know. Um, and a lot of the galleons, bro. Them fools represented the town. I did a video on that shit too. A lot of the galleons, bro. They did a lot of. They represented the Denver metro in the way that Denver needed to be held down, you know. So I always was showing them fools love. Like, yeah, bro, like they was all about the city, Denver Metro, like Box State business type shit. And they try to draft me to the G, fool. Hey, my dude Eric, they try to who was it? OG Frizz and their fools. And I think that fool Manish, homie, OG Manish from the G, he tried to draft me as soon as I hit the county. As soon as I hit the county, he was like, hey, you should become a G. You a solid little fool. I said, bro, I'm from the east side of Denver and I'm a loc, bro. I wouldn't even know how to be a G, fool. It's cripping over here, bro. I couldn't be a G. He's like, nah, fool, when you get to the penitentiary, I kind of got mad at homie too. Like, hey, fool, you know how long I've been cripping, fool? I am not going to be put on G's, my homie. I can't. I got love for you fools. Got a lot of homies, but nah, I was just stuck in what I did, homie. Um, I'm the homie. Oh, okay, okay, okay. I'm the homie that rides motorcycles and from the gym. Yeah, shout out, homie. That's what I'm talking about, my bro. Hell yeah. Nah, that's what's up, Rada. Yeah, nah. I agree with you on that, Alex. I ain't saying that gangbanging across everywhere is watered down. Hell yeah, it is. It's watered down, homie. I say it all the time. A lot of that shit's watered down. You know why? Because of snitching, bruh. Everybody, there's a lot of snitches everywhere. You know what I'm saying? So it's watered down. There ain't no fundamentals no more. I'm 40 years old though, bro. Like, so it's been watered down for a little minute. That's why I kind of just do me and I try to live an aspect of faith and go to church and relax, bro. Like, it is watered down. I don't disagree with you on that. Hell yeah, man. What you got? What kind of bike you got? Got a Harley, my homie? You got the young Harley? Yeah, nah, definitely. And I think all realization in the 2025, my homie, I think it's watered down a lot because we live in 2025 and there's no real fundamentals being pushed in gangbanging at all. Every real fool that's managed to survive gangbanging that's older, they'll tell you that shit, bro. Be the first to tell you that shit's watered down. That shit's whack, homie. It's lame. Like if you've been blessed long enough to live, homie, and live and have good times now, and you literally went through prison system and you put so much out for the hood, homie, you have the right to relax and have a good time the rest of your life, homie, especially because there's nothing going on no more, bruh. There's no fundamentals. And all these little eggers, and the other side, all the little pretty boy dancers, homie, that be doing the stomp the yard and you know what I'm saying? Like they water that shit down, bruh. So now we live in a day and age of all kinds of suckers, bro. That think because you might shoot somebody, you a rider, homie. What? Come on, my homie. Shooting is probably shooting. Like I understand, like being in war and surviving, but just shooting to shoot is kind of some sucker shit, bro. That's why I can't take fools that try to represent the body count, homie, and how the murder rate is. You know what I'm saying? Like, homie, the softest fools will kill your ass. It is watered down. I know some things about people's big homies locked up. Fools be, I'll tell you firsthand. I know fools that done slithered up the feezy. Like, bro, how you gonna suck up the feezy, or how you gonna get sucked up by the feezy, breezy? Westwoods was cracking. What that fool I was talking about? Oh no, no, like nowadays it's just kind of taught. It's just kind of everything. But the Westwoods, it was a melting pot for a lot of activities. You know what I'm saying? Like real shit. We all had to, my homie. We all had to grow. We all had to grow up, homie. We all had to learn. Like that's what being a man is, right? In all reality, serious talk, that's what being a man is. I think idiots. I think this is a stupid mindset, bro. You done everything right for years, and you done prospered and you're surviving. You live to be 40 in this life and you still want to be in the mix of shit, bro. You still want to go and take penitentiary risks. You still want to take penitentiary risks at 40? You still want to be a OG, a old school fool that is 40, 50, thinking that you still from the hood and you're still participating in hood activities? That's weird. That's crazy, fool. I've been around, know a lot of Southerners. Shit, the things I know about they older homies. I think a lot of that goes for a lot of older homies from every neighborhood though. But you would think the fools that people look up to, you would think the shit people look up to, the fools they look up to, a lot of them have some shit in their closet. No, no, I know my homie, I know Rada, I know. Hell yeah, my homie Mallow, I know my Brody, you know. Um, and the only one where such a thing as there is such there's such a thing as too old. I don't want to be in the park after dark at 60 years old, who's still drinking 40 ounces. I just think that's crazy, fool. Look at all these fools still trying to be young, living through somebody that's younger, like their nephews or some shit. I don't want to be that dude. My cousin is one of the guys I co-founded RGK. Okay, okay, okay. He used to be a fighter, a badass boxer. Oh yeah, yeah. I know some fool. I don't know too much about the RGK dudes, but I heard about them dudes. I heard they was out there tagging and gang banging. Yeah, you hit the yard at 60, bro. You might as well just take yourself out. You might as well take yourself out, my bro. 60 years old and you got to go do another chunk. You got to go do a whole new 20 bit at 60, bro. You're going to get out 80 years old looking crazy with nothing to show for. I guess I just couldn't do it, my homies. Call it what it is. I just couldn't do it, my homies, because especially like my story, homie, like since I was 12 years old, put that in perspective. 12 years old when I started actually being around my older cousins. I went through all my teenage years, all my 20s, all my 30s to 37 years old, homie. Full fledged. And I'm 37 plus still out here acting like I'm a young homie. What up, Big Jordan? What's up, Valdez? What's up, my Rada? How you doing, my homie, today? Acting like a little homie all the way up to 37 because it was in me to be a rider, bro, taking penitentiary risk for absolutely nothing though, really, because my homies is some was on some scandalous crazy shit, fool. Nothing to live for, bro. No foundation. Everybody beefing. I'm catching myself being more mad at the homies than enemigos and fools we could have been out here tripping with and trooping on, homie. Like, and then finding all kinds of scandalous shit. It's like, bro, what the point? What the hell? I ain't giving no more energy to all this. I still love family and all that shit, bro. And I still love the riders that kept it solid. But there's a lot of fools that don't keep it solid, bro. There's a lot of fools that you just look in and you're like, you fools is some weenies, homie. Y'all fools is some party. Y'all fools is the party gangbangers. Everybody you talk. Y'all want to look cool in pictures and be on camera looking fun, and it's all fun and games. But when shit gets to hitting the roof, you see the real suckers come out, bro. You see the suckers come out. You know, you see the real and the suckers, bro. I started a game, bro. Damn, in Bryan, Colorado, we got gangbanging in Bryan. Salute to y'all, man. Yeah, nah, shit. So that's what it is, my homies. We just out here just chopping it up, reminiscing on some shit. Somebody asked me a question. Well, you know how it goes, my homie. That's kind of just what it is. Like, let's just be real. We gotta be real amongst each other. We gotta breathe. We gotta be 100. Like, if we're not 100, bro, like there's no benefit. There's no benefit to the gang life. And one reason why foods really gangbang right is because of the family. Because everybody talks about the family aspect, but half of the time with the hood, bro, and the gang, bro, like them are the foods you gotta watch out before anything, homie. I knew you were real when me and my homie approached you in the gym. Oh, hell yeah, my bro. You know, you know how it goes, my homie. I appreciate all the love, support, my radas, everything. You know, I appreciate everybody out there. You know, I appreciate it, homie. Like, I appreciate the real ones, bro. I appreciate all you fools. I appreciate every real one, homie. Like, yeah, homie. I'm in that aspect. That was the 24-hour fitness too, huh, my homie Eric? Like, that was the 24-hour fitness. You still go over there, my bro? You still over there? Hell yeah, homie. That's good shit. That's good shit, homie. All that negativity is not worth it. And I think I actually did see you at the gas station too, if I'm not mistaken, right? We was chopping it up, you know? We was chopping it up. Um, all the negativity. Yeah. I'll be over there at Absolute Fitness now, on my bro. I'll be over there at Absolute Fitness. Still got to get it in though, you know. Still got to go keep that shit above water, homie, because we living in a crazy day, bro. Like, you gotta stay super health wise, homie, and keep your mind above water. You know. I used to live on 37 Humboldt between 96. Oh yeah, it was activated. It was activated over there. Super activated, homie. Like, shit was going down left and right. I said, man, that was a testimony to them older G's, them the older homies, and the older fam. Um, it was like 90s. If you lived through the 90s, homie, you lived through the 90s and you got out of the summer violences and all that shit, and you got out of summer violence and survived that shit, you have a testimony all off top, because them years right there were very dangerous, bro. A lot of people lost their family. Man, I don't know if you were here around, bro. You know somebody that might have died in that time frame. Only the strong survive, bro. That's real shit. You know, only the strong survive. Only the real ones is gonna make it out of that shit. And that's kind of why when I got to doing YouTube, when I got to doing YouTube, bro, I was, you know what I'm saying, trying to connect with the realists. And I lived in the nine. I lived on Ninth and Eco. Okay, you was in the middle of the trenches at that time too, because right then in the 90s too, bro, that shit was turned up. You know, people don't really know the extent of that actual war, because fools was, I mean, at one time, bro, like, that was the war in the city, bro. Like, fools was dropping left and right. Fools was getting at each other. And to this day, homie, you know, I mean, you don't really catch a lot of you know what I'm saying, the Inca boys, but to this day, homie, there was a lot of history between the two. A lot of history, bro. So I understand, you know, I understand the aspect of, to this day, you might remember. And that's why I had to change the juju about myself, homie, because, like, you don't never know. You might have somebody that you actually got into it with a long time ago and they still have the same feelings, bro. Fools don't forget that shit, especially if it was serious. That's kind of one of the biggest things I learned, homie. Like, I had to do a lot of different things to change a lot of my identity, a lot of different things about myself, because I brought so much bad juju on me, bro. Like, cause just how I was when I was younger. I used to try to be that top dog, homie. And if I didn't like you, then I was causing problems with your ass. And to this day, I actually, like, barely know how to actually, like, conduct myself, because I be getting mad over shit. Like I told you about Sunday, bro. That shit brought out the old self, homie. That shit brought out the old self. I was tripping at. the Bronco and Raider game, bro. I was tripping. I got to tripping. I tripped on the whole DJ of the Raiders tailgate, acting like a little ass kid. Walked up on him like, "I'll punch you in your mouth. Turn that music off, bro," for no reason, homie. But I was in that atmosphere. Started calling everybody a bitch and tripping, town fools. I want to fade. Let me get my heads up, pussies. I was mad, homie, but it's just like, and at this age, I kind of look at that. I'm like, bro, what the hell was I doing over this football shit? I called my homie like, I apologize, fool. I apologize for being a bad host. I apologize. Um, so what's up? Of any Denver natives to get up in the hold on, what was that, brother? What did you say in that comment? Like I read that. Let me see. So what's up? Know of any Denver native to get? Let me see. Up in the indictments. Spot fast. I'm about to hop off set. Hey, stay dangerous, my homie. Shout out to you, Marada. Oh no, I don't. I don't know too many foods. I know some foods that went to the federal. I know the foods that went to the feds, but they were out in Oklahoma, my homie. They was out in Oklahoma. Yeah, Eric, homie. Like I didn't like. I went up there with a Raider fan from Cali, homie. I went up with there over there with a Raider fan from Cali, and I actually was having a good time. I was actually having a good ass day, really, to be truthful. Everybody was showing love, even the Raider fans. They're like, damn, homie, like they was passing me beers and shit, right? And I started drinking a little bit, and I was still good, fool. I was hella good. And then I approached him. I remember this is what made me kind of irritate because I approached somebody and I was playing with him, and I don't know what he was thinking, but that fool just like said some crazy shit out the side of his neck about I'm undefeated in the parking lot. And that little thing triggered me so much and made me change my direction of having fun to telling that fool, "Well, I fight, homie. What you want to do? You want to fight over some football?" And now I'm literally telling you, homie, I'll beat your ass in front of your girl, homie. And that's what made me mad, to be honest. That's what pissed me off. And I even tried to be good and say, "Hey, homie, you can go chill with your homies, bro. I'm not going over there. Like I'm amped up. I'm about to leave actually." Because I was only going to the tailgate. And then they were in our stadium, bro, talking about over a loud microphone. They started playing, "I don't mess with you." And he said, "You dirty ass bitch Bronco fans, I ain't messing with you." And I heard that shit, but I was already amped on me. And I just walked over to the Raiders tailgate and I approached their DJ tripping. I said, "Homie, turn that shit off, homie, or before I wreck your whole fucking equipment." And I said, "Who's a bitch? I'm a Bronco fan. What's up? What you want to do, homie?" And he's like, "Oh, bro, it wasn't even me." Like he threw his homie under the bus. He said it was the fool on the microphone. And sure enough, bro, I couldn't find this fool nowhere. I couldn't find the dude with the microphone. He like hid. He hid. So I started just telling everybody in that tailgate. I'm like, "Y'all fools is some bitches." I was mad at that point, bro. The security guard started like, yeah, walked up and he's talking about, "Hey, bro, just chill out," because the cops were gonna get called. And yeah, bro, it was all bad. I be praying on a downfall. I want the Chiefs, bro. I hope we slap up the Chiefs, man. Damn, I wish I was working over there that day at the game. I've been right there. Hell yeah. It was cool. It was cool for the most part, my homie George. It was cool. It was cool. I was like having a good ass time, even in their tailgate. Because when I first walked up, they had a tailgate in the corner, and I just walked up like, "Let's go Broncos, Broncos!" And that fools all looked at me, and they're like, "Who's this fool over here?" So I started giving, "Oh, what's up? You in my city, homie? What's cracking? Like, what's cracking, bro? How you in my city, bro?" Walking up on all them fools. And I don't know if that irritated him. He said the hat's cleaner. All right, watch this though. You know what? We'll just go to first four. Check this out. Should I do this one? Then should I do that one? Should I do this one? Should I do this one? Should I do this one? These are just four of them. Five, bro. Which one? You determine it. Or this one. Maybe this one. Maybe we should do this one. Bro, I got like 400 hats in here. You see all them hats back there? Like, look at this. We'll do this. You want me to glide, my brother? Look at this. We got this one. Oh, Super Bowl champions. We got this one. We got this one. Oh, we got this one. You get the point? We got this one. We even got this one. I got hats galore, bro. I just throw hats like that. But I still got this one. That's the one you don't like, man. You know what I'm saying? That's the one you don't want me to wear, bro. I was fucking with y'all. Did you get a new one? Oh, shit. I like all your hats. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, Rada. Yeah, I got a gang of hats in there too, man. Like, now you know what's funny though, bro? You know what? Thank you. Appreciate you, man. I'm trying to keep the reason why I got that Bronco hat, bro, the dusty one, because I done hit some gains with that hat, my Rada. I was telling you that day. I try to hit that 405 bench press. Man, I got it up. That hat brings me strength. Yeah, man, I'm a collector of hats, honestly. I collect a lot of hats. But there's some shit sometimes you just can't let go, man. And you know what? You know what's crazy, Marada? You're not the first fool that actually called me out on my hat. TikTok was roasting me. That shit had me rolling, homie. TikTok was roasting me. They were like, bro, take that hat off. I said, bro, why? I don't want to take off the hat, man. I like my hat. Hey, I got a Nuggets hat that is that dirty too, though. I still be representing with. That's funny. That hat got memories. I feel that. Yeah, because I've been having that shit since like 2000. I would say 2015, maybe 2015. And the cold part about it, when it was brand new, I actually like that hat. But the cold part about it is too, man. Honestly, when I literally like that hat, but I couldn't go to the gym and all the hats. I started ruining a lot of hats, man, going to the gym. So I said I'm gonna have two hats that are gym hats. I gotta wash that shit though. And then I'm gonna have a hat that I just have strictly for the gym. And I got two of them. I got the Nuggets championship hat for the gym. I got the Broncos hat for the gym. And then all my other hats, some of them have packaging, like still got tags on them. I don't even wear that shit. I gotta be honest, I never seen such a 180 from people. I didn't know winning a 10 game means the Broncos are now for frauds. Yeah, and that's what I say like that, bro. I always say this, homie, like because we're Broncos country and there's such a bias on us, you always gonna hear the negativity. It doesn't matter if we beat a team that they were sucking up the week before, like the Cowboys, right? Everybody was saying their number one offense was just this great, and there's no way the Broncos win. And now we won them and we demolished them, and now it's like, oh, they were just trash. The Giants came off that victory against the Eagles, and everybody was like, oh, this is the new team. They just smashed the Eagles. There's no way the Broncos win, but we win. And now it's like, you ain't beat shit. Oh, yeah, let's be bipolar. Let's be hypocritical. You know? Hell yeah. You can say what you want about Will. I was talking to some homie in the gym today. It's a sophomore slump too. If we put that in perspective, bro, it's a sophomore slump and we're still finding ways to win. Like, I guess that sophomore slump shit is real because every quarterback goes through it. They got footage on the quarterback, and sophomore slumps happen, right? And with our sophomore slump, we're still on top of the conference, the division, the NFL. We're number one seed if we continue to win. Like, if that's the sophomore slump, I'll take that over a lot of things. Yeah, homie, our defense is keeping the sophomore slump afloat. Hell yeah, Bo Nix just figure it out. Third year, come out with a vengeance, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, do enough to get us in this playoff, and then do enough to get us home field advantage. And anything can happen in the playoffs, bro. I don't think nobody wants to come play in Mile High though. Mile High Magic's in full effect. So, hey, I didn't believe in. Honestly, I'm gonna be real. I didn't believe in a Super Bowl. Like we could get to the Super Bowl, to be honest. But if you have to come out here to Denver with the Mile High Magic, I feel like we have a chance against anybody's team in Mile High. We're undefeated, bro. We don't lose out here no more. You know. Shit, Knicks can sophomore slump his way to AFC champion. Let's go. That's what I like to hear right there, bro. I'm tired of all the negativity. I heard Bronco fans this morning crying about the win. And that's why I did that live earlier, because they were crying about the win. And I'm like, bro, you are crying about the win more than you're happy about the win. You cried about not winning when we were going through our situations. And now we're winning, and you're crying about how we're winning. I didn't understand that. I don't understand that mindset. And in the way that we're winning, like, let's be real, bro. Some of them games, it was like that was exciting to win like that. Even though it was like coming back in the fourth quarters, that shit is exciting, homie. You come back against the Giants, they're up 19-0 with like 10 minutes to go, and you put up 30 plus points in 10 minutes. That shit is exciting. And you're not happy about that shit. It just goes to show you no lead is out the reach for us. You can be up 3 possessions, and somehow Mile High Magic's just going to hit that fourth quarter, and somehow you still don't have 100% win when you're up against this Broncos team. That's what I'm saying. Let's look at this in a different sense. Broncos country, even if we're trailing in a game, we still have the potential chance to come back in the fourth quarter, bro. That's amazing football right there, bro. I'm not worried about a lead right now. I gave up. I'm gonna be real. I told you everybody, and I gave up in that Giants game. Honestly, I was pissed. I didn't think that we could come back. And Mile High Magic slapped me in my face and said, "Shut up, fool. Your ass need to sit down, homie. Look at what we're about to do." And they pulled that shit off, bro. So after that win, I'm never scared when we're trailing. I'm never scared, bro. We did it against the Eagles and the Giants, bro. You can't put no fear in me no more with this Broncos team. Yeah, defense wins championships. So that's always a good aspect. That's a good feel right there, bro. Like, and I think honestly, homie, I remember back in the day, like if you were around for Broncos football, and this goes to the old school fans, homie, the real ones, right? I come from an era, so you have to understand where this mentality is coming from. Because before the Broncos won the Super Bowl, if you even were a part of it, the Broncos went through some hardships in the 80s by going to the Super Bowl all kinds of years. 77, 86, 87, 89, bro. And we got blown out. And the fans didn't cry as much as they do now. The fans were just happy that the Broncos were competing. The fans were just proud. The fans, after a Super Bowl loss, homie, they would meet the players at the airport. And I go back to that time frame. Now we win and people are crying. We win and people are bashing the team. I just be like, you guys, I don't know, man. To me, you guys are so wavery, bro. And I think it's a mindset too that you don't want to look like you're wrong in the eyes of the NFL world. You don't. You fools been down for so long. A lot of these fools been down for so long that when they speak, they don't even have belief in what they say, and then they don't want to be looked at as wrong in the eyes of these fans, some of these other fans. When you shouldn't even care about what these other fans think. You shouldn't care about what a Raider fan thinks. You shouldn't care about what a Chief fan thinks, the Charger, the Cowboy. But fools don't want to be wrong in front of these fools, so they play this victim role, and they just agree with these dudes now. I definitely ain't never gonna be that fan. I'll carry this Broncos team alone, homie. I'll carry this Broncos team alone, bro. I did it when we were down. I'll go to war with people when we were down. I didn't even have firepower, and I'll still say it's Broncos, homie. And I'll bring up facts. Oh yeah, you got an 8 game winning streak on us. Yeah, you won us 8 games in a row, but you ain't won a Super Bowl since 1983. I don't know where they do that at. Chief fans, y'all been doing this shit for 50 plus years, and it took you 50 plus years to win a Super Bowl, homie. In Broncos history, we ain't never been that team. They get mad. Hell yeah. Shit, from my understanding, Champagne tends to have a amount of one score losing during his coaching career, and he turned that shit around, but in the most wildest fashion. Amen. Amen to that, homie. Amen to that. Champagne is the truth, bro. I like Champagne. I've always advocated, said I like Champagne. I like Bo Nix. I don't want to go away from my boy. I advocated for Bo Nix. And Bo Nix single-handedly, he literally destructed a lot of narratives, people. He done crumbled a lot of narratives. Narrative of this, it was a reach. Narrative of they're only going to win 3 games last year. Narrative of he can't have us in competing for the conference and the division, and he's tearing down that shit left and right. So I take that over anything, homie. Like, yeah, let's go. Let's go. I wonder where they going to put Denver's rocking them in a pro football team. What are we doing right there? Who do we have? What team we got for the Semi team? How about them Nuggets too, man? Yeah, the Nuggets, the Avs, the Broncos. Let's go, Ryder. Let's do our thing. We gonna turn up. It's all the way turned up. So yeah, man. It's a good thing, man. But shout out to everybody, bro. I'm gonna tap out. I gotta get some food in the system. Then there is a Colorado Rockies team. Hey, I even got a Rockies hat, my homies. Look at this. Here, well, you know what? I'm such a real one, homie. Even with this right here being so bad, damn, this all hairy though. But let's go, man. I got a Kita. Don't mind me. We're gonna throw on the Rockies for the Rockies, man. Because you know why? I don't even support the Rockies like a maniac, but they're still the home team. Maybe I'll give them some good juju. Boom. We got the Rockies lid. Yeah, Rockies, I don't know, man. They don't represent us too well. Bro, I was talking to the homie the other day, and I said, bro, the Rockies don't even be representing Colorado, man. They giving points to the other team so much. It's like it's hard to support the Rocks, man. But we have to do it because it's the home team. Shout out to you guys, man. I'm gonna tap out though. God bless everybody, man. Hopefully, I answered some questions to the fam. I appreciate you guys tuning in. And get ready for that show Wednesday, man. We got the Box State Business Show. We doing another aspect of Wednesday show. God bless everybody, man. Happy Monday. And to the next one, bro. Y'all be good, homie. The real ones connect. Let's go.